How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of East Asia Soft, welcome to today's stream. I don't know why I do this every single time. Big announcement, I suppose. So today I am continuing my playthrough of If My Heart Had Wings, which is out now physically on the Nintendo Switch. If you want a copy for yourself, make sure you head over to PlayAsia and order one, but you'd better hurry because there are not that many copies left. So, trying to remember where I left off last time. Pretty sure last time I ended with the main character learning about the airplane club. The gliding club, I guess I should say. So let's go ahead and hop back into that.
前回の続きから。あ、わかった。
Today didn't go well either. Today's breakfast was another dismal failure. Everyone had come to the dining hall for breakfast, but the only one who had finished her meal was Kaneko. There must have been something wrong with it. All I have to do is make meals and clean. What a piece of cake. At least that's what I had thought when I had taken on the job.
何しけた面してんだよ、この裏切り者め。
What do you want? Masatsugu, joining me on the way to school, went out of his way to come and sling verbal abuse. A few things happened at the dormitory. Dealing with girls can be tough.
そういうことなら俺に聞け。何せ俺今彼女いるもんね。
Yeah. Isn't she a freshman at Saizen? Saizen Girls High School was known as a school for rich girls and was famous even in this neighborhood. A freshman in high school. Yeah, that's a great... Okay. The uniform had a reputation for being cute, so fans would come from far and wide just to take a look.
エリちゃんって言うんだけどさ、写真見る？
He looked like he was about to show me anyway, so I went along with it. Whoa! Seriously, she's cute.
だろう？一緒にバンドやってんだ。エリちゃんがボーカルとベースで、俺がギター。
You can play guitar?
エリちゃんのために必死に練習した。今じゃインギー並みの早弾きだってできるぜ。
He started to wildly strum the air as if he was really playing. Who was Ingui, anyway?
お前さ、前の学校で自転車やってたんじゃねえの？
Yeah, I was. What about it?
もうやんねえわけ？でも、うちには自転車部なんてねえけど。
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Hi, Leandra, how are you doing? Masatsugu's face seemed to say, it's got nothing to do with me, though.
でっかい大会で表彰台に上がったんだろ？
Did you hear that from Tatsuya?
アゲハもホタルも今度のレースは応援にくっついてくってあんちゃんに言ってたんだぜ。まあ一応俺もだけどな。
That made me go a bit red.
あ、勘違いすんなよ。俺はお前がブザマに負けるところを見に行くつもりだったわけで。別に応援なんかするつもりなかったんだからな。
No, absolutely. Yeah, I get it. Don't get so flustered.
アゲハのやつ悔しがってたぞ。お前のいいとこ見られなくて。お前そういうの分かってんのか？
No, I didn't know. I never had thought that I would make it to the podium. Even if I had known, it was just too far away for me to ask people to come watch.
なのにろくに連絡もよこさねえでよ。
Same goes for both of us. Besides, I sent you a New Year card every year, didn't I?
あんなコンビニで売ってるプリント済みのやつでか。
You did the same thing. Anyway, your New Year cards usually arrive at the end of January.
返してもらえるだけありがたいと思えこの。
おお、珍しい二人組発見。
Hi, Ageha.
はよーす。どうしたの、マーボー？
Masatsugu was sneakily hiding in my shadow.
別になんでもねえよ。あんま慣れ慣れしくすんなよ。エリちゃんが怒るから。
はいはい。かわいいかわいい彼女ですもんね。
Jokingly, Ageha deliberately kept her distance from Masatsugu as she walked. Masatsugu came up to behind me, gave me a poke in the ribs, and started to whisper.
さっきの話、アゲハには内緒な。
What thing?
あいつがお前のレース見に行きたがってたって話。
Okay, I got it. It must have been a sensitive topic or something.
何男同士でベタベタしてんの？
ちげえよ、誰がこんなやつと。ペッペ。
I think he literally said spit, spit. Ew, gross! You don't have to actually spit.
仲いいね。焼けちゃうわ。
バカアゲハ
Yeah, don't say weird things like that. It was lunchtime. Today, I didn't eat my boxed lunch early. As I basked in this tiny sense of achievement and got my lunchbox out, Kotori had already disappeared from the class. When I looked into the hallway, she was moving back and forth in front of the door, as if she couldn't decide whether to go or not. Are you waiting for me? Kotori cried out in surprise and fanned herself with her hand as if to calm down.
脅かさないでくれる？
Sorry, I only wanted to speak to you, that's all. You're going, aren't you? To the garage.
ええ、そうよ。別にあなたを待ってたわけじゃないけど。
Okay, shall we go? I started to push her wheelchair.
勝手に押さないで。
Here, hold this, would you? I passed my bag to her.
こら、人を荷物置きみたいにするな。
That little face that she makes is so funny. Codes on Nintendo Switch games, do they expire? They do, but not for... There is an expiration date on them, but I think it's not for another like 5 to 10 years after they're generated. If I remember right. It might just be 1 or 2 years, but they do expire, but not for a long
誰
time.
もいないみたい。
The garage was open, but no one was around. For some reason, it felt like Amane was always here, so it was a little strange to have no one around. The AC was off, and the air felt quite humid. What should we do?
どうするって言われても。
Kotori subconsciously put her hand on her stomach. Shall we eat? I made you lunch, Kotori. Actually, it was leftovers from breakfast. But Kotori hadn't had breakfast this morning, so she shouldn't have known.
それも寮母の仕事なの？
No, I just thought I'd do it. 1, 2, 3. I put the 3 lunch boxes on the workbench. I went to the trouble of making one for Amane too, though. The air conditioner wasn't turned on in the garage, so if I left it in here, it would go bad. I decided to leave it in the refrigerator. I could leave a note on the desk, too. Could you turn on the fan? Kotori flipped the switch on a nearby fan.
エアコンは？
I can't find the remote control. It was probably buried somewhere. The two of us moved closer to the fan and opened up our lunch boxes.
何これ？カレー？
This morning's breakfast had been curry. You don't like it?
普通カレーをお弁当にするかな？
Yeah, now that you mention it. Ugh. You can complain after you've eaten it. Kotori had a meek look on her face as she moved the cold curry towards her mouth.
冷めてても美味しい。
It would be good if we had a microwave, though. For a while, the two of us quietly ate our curry. Today, there was no sheet covering the glider. I gazed at the simple, sleek shape of its body and thought it was beautiful. I imagined the aircraft cutting through the air as it flew. When riding a bicycle, your greatest enemy is the wind.
Huh?
Kotori had a confused look on her face, but I carried on. The worst thing is when you have a headwind. While it is constantly pushing you back, you have to keep pedaling. Feeling the wind from the fan in front of us, I was reminded of the feeling. The feeling of the wind gradually draining my stamina. That's why when we ride a bicycle, we try to find ways to reduce air resistance. Things like the shape of the bike, or the shape of the helmet. Even during the race, everyone had to cooperate to form a group while riding in order to defeat the wind. You could even say, for cycling, it would be better if there was no wind at all. But this thing uses the wind to fly.
ジェットエンジンもプロペラもないのにね。
If we hadn't actually seen it flying that day, even with the real thing right in front of us, we wouldn't be able to imagine it flying. Speaking of which, Kotori, how do you know about gliders? Even though she knew of them, that day had been the first time she had seen one in person.
別にちょっと本で読んだだけ。
It seemed like she didn't want to talk about it, so I didn't push her any further. Speaking of books, there was a bookshelf here, lined with many books. Looking closely, they were all related to gliders or aircraft. I picked one up and looked inside. It's all in English. I can't read it. Oh, yeah. I think I had that problem when I was 2. Hey, for what it's worth, Aoi, I can't read Japanese either, so there you go. It wasn't like my grades in English were bad, but with the level of English I had from studying at school, reading academic papers was really tough. It seemed like Kotori was the same.
こっちの本は写真がいっぱい載ってるわ。
There was a book that had many photos of gliders, like a catalog. There are so many different types. The shape of the wings, the size, and so on. Even with gliders, there were so many different varieties.
見てこれ。
What's happening in this picture?
山の上を飛んでる。
It looked so natural that I didn't really notice, but the glider was flying high enough that it could look down on the mountain. They can fly that high? Kotori and I, without realizing, both looked at the glider sitting over there. With its wings removed, we couldn't really grasp the full size of it, but at a glance, it didn't seem all that different to the glider in the photo. Amane had said that it could go above the clouds. I wonder what it feels like to fly through the sky.
きっと最高の気分よ。上昇気流に乗って飛ぶなんてまるで鳥になったみたいじゃない。
After we finished eating, we stayed for a little longer. We spent the time looking at books and admiring the glider. A lot of people just popped in. Hi everyone. When the bell rang, I felt a little sad as our time to enjoy ourselves was over,
何かしらこれ。
implying that the rest of school is unenjoyable, which I agree with. Just as we were about to go back to the classroom, Kotori noticed a photo frame on Amane's desk. What's this? The weird thing was that there was a photo frame, but no photo inside. Just an empty photo frame. It'd be just like her to manage to lose just the photo inside. What's up?
なんでもないわ。行きましょう。ここ暑くてたまんない。
The moment we stepped out of the sauna-like garage, the air outside felt cool. Splash, splash, splash. Whew! This is hard work. It was easy just to say clean the bathroom, but I never thought it would be such a big job. Plus, there was no air conditioning, so I was sweltering. The trouble is, if I don't do this every day during the summertime, then mold will start growing. It wasn't just about hygiene. It would be all kinds of gross to take a bath in there if there was mold growing in there. My cell phone rang. On the display, it showed home. Hello?
もしもし葵、私だけど
What's up?
別にどうしてるかと思って。どう？順調？
I can't say it's going smoothly. I didn't think much of it at first, but it's turning out to be pretty tough.
そりゃそうよ。楽な仕事なんてないのよ。
Going to school every day and doing the work of a house mother is wearing me out. I had realized this after only a few days. It was a lot of hard work.
でも今はその方がいいんじゃない？
Why?
嫌なこと思い出さずに済むじゃない。
Well, if that's what you think, don't talk about it.
それともママが恋しくなった？
A mother like you? Ow. The kind of mother who loved teasing her son. But did she get me to do this house mother job because she was worried about me? I was so busy that I didn't have time to dwell on things. Speaking in the hallway, the others may have been able to hear me, so I went back to my room. We continued our silly parent-child conversation. My mother was a fiercely independent person and a hard-working career woman. Many things had been happening until recently. Well, they were still going on now, and we were living separately. I was old enough to have a little independence. It was enough for me to just speak to her from time to time.
学校の方はどうなの？
It's going fine. Agea is there too.
あげはちゃん綺麗になったわね。この間久しぶりに会ってびっくりしちゃった。
Me too. She's all grown up now.
あら、そんな風に余裕ぶっこいてられるのも今のうちよ。あげはちゃん、これからもっともっと綺麗になるわよ。愛想もいいし、気遣いもできるし、間違いなくモテるわね。
Jeez, cut it out! What are you talking about?
あらやだ、口が悪いわね。誰に似たのかしら。
Yeah, you. Would a mother usually let her son to go chasing after girls?
それじゃ、頑張ってね。トラブルがあったらすぐ言いなさい。
Sure.
それから、もし仕事が大変だったら、寮生に負担してもらってもいいのよ。超格安物件なんだから、そのくらいしてもらわないと。
I'll think about it.
それじゃ、おやすみ、葵ちゃん。
She called me that on purpose because she knew I didn't like it, and then ended the call. Yeah, did she say Aoi-chan? Chan? Okay. My father was the one who chose to call me Aoi, but it sounded like a girl's name, so I was often teased about it. I put down my phone and took a look at the dorm roster. Everyone had to clean their own room, as well as the hallways, the lobby, and the dining hall. My jobs were to prepare breakfast and dinner, clean up afterwards, clean the bathroom, work on the garden, and other chores. It is actually pretty tough, so maybe I should ask for more help. Even if I could just get some help to clean the bathroom, that would be a real lifesaver. Huh? Yuka? Yuka, who was in her 4th year, had been in the dorm the longest. She jumped in surprise when I called out to her.
何かしら、水瀬くん。
Can I ask you a question? I laid the roster out on the table where Yuka was sitting. She looked at the roster with curiosity. Kotori doesn't have her name on the job roster. Starting with Kaneko, then Yuka, etc., there were 4 names, but Kotori's name was not there.
だってあの子。
Yuka looked towards the dining hall door as she spoke.
足が不自由だから。
I see, so that's why. Thank you.
いえ。
Extend the little wings which fly in the sky highly. Maybe by the end of this VN we'll know what that means. I know that sound. The scorching sun came shining down. Up on the roof with nothing to block the sunlight, it felt like the sun was burning me to a crisp. Could it get any hotter? I grumbled as I wiped the sweat from my brow. It was already July. No, it is August 15th. Silly Owie. It was just before the peak of summer, and the sun was finally shining at full strength. Today was Saturday. No, today's Sunday, silly Owie. And there was no school. Now is my chance to get some house mother work done. I'd been up on the roof since morning, fixing leaks. This building is in pretty bad condition. I had heard that the owner, who was also in charge of the maintenance, was an elderly woman that had collapsed a few days before. For one reason or another, a lot of things had been left unattended, and a lot of repair work was needed. Honestly, this place was so old I couldn't help wonder if it could be considered some sort of historical heritage site. The owner, who was a widow, had opened the manor as a student dormitory back before I was born. Even back then, when we had called this place Witch's Mansion, students from Kaifu Academy had been living here. Since then, the owner had been taking care of the boarding students like they were her own children or grandchildren. However, since Kazugara had undergone redevelopment, land prices had been on the rise. The owner's sons were looking for any excuse to sell the place. That was part of why I had been given the role of house mother. It was best to keep my head down with these kinds of adult matters, so I just got on with the work I had to do. Alright, that should do it. Finishing the repairs to the roof, I climbed down the ladder. Okay, next is... Hattie, who was pecking at the soil, came over to me as I climbed down the ladder. Ducks were supposed to eat weeds and bugs, so I wondered if I left him to it, if he would help maintain the garden. However, he would also peck at the flowers and so on too, so I would need to watch out for that. What's up, Hattie? Where's your buddy? I had no idea what he was saying, but he definitely looked bored. Sorry, but I've got work to do. When I get back, I'll give you a bath. The door to Kotori's room was closed. I couldn't hear any sound, and there were no signs that she was awake. Still asleep, huh, sleepyhead? Hey, Kotori! Wake up! Hey, Miss Cool-a-Lul!
うっさいわね。何事よ。
I'm going to do some shopping. Do you want to come with me?
は？ そんな理由でアミを妨げたの？
No, I'm with her. Her face seemed to say, if this was America and I sued you, you would lose. Oh, look at that giant dog on her bed. That's adorable. You're oversleeping. It's a nice sunny day, so let's go outside.
なんで私があなたの買い物に？
It's shopping for the dormitory. You eat too, don't you?
用意するからちょっとだけ待ってて。
Seeing Ageha waving at us, Kotori's face looked annoyed. Hi, Ageha.
おっす、葵。ハバネさん、おはよう。おはよう。ちょっと、なんであの子がいるのよ。日本の買い出しって言ったじゃない。
It's fine. There's something I need help with. I had planned from the beginning to meet up with Ageha. I needed her as a kind of special advisor for today. Right, let's go.
行こう行こう。
She really doesn't like socializing, does she? Okay, I'm doing a safety save here.
前のデータ消えるよ。それでいい？
We arrived at the underground street of the shopping mall. There were many stylish shops in the shopping arcade, and there was also a large supermarket. I pushed Kotori along in her wheelchair and went around choosing the food with Ageha. What do we need?
まず鶏もも肉でしょ。それからパプリカ、ピーマン、玉ねぎ。
She said paprika. I heard paprika. And it was not in the text. Kotori looked like she was still upset with the fact that Ageha was with us. She looked at me like she was trying to put a curse on me or something. I got Ageha to help me plan tonight's dinner. Seems like the things that I make aren't the kind of things that everyone likes.
で、なんで私が一緒に来なきゃいけないわけ？
Because you can carry the bags? That's a cute picture. Kotori was doing a good job of carrying the supermarket basket. Ageha and I kept slinging more and more ingredients her way.
パプリカパウダー、ホールトマト、生ハム、それから。
Chuck, chuck.
掘り込むな。
I'll get some mineral water.
重い。ねえねえ、ポテチ買っていい？
No. Oh, I haven't had those in such a long time.
ケチ、後でお金払うから一緒に入れといて。
And into the basket they went. Death potato. Death potato warning. Wow, Ageha likes some spice, doesn't she? Also, we'll be out of rice soon. Let's buy some while we're here. Wham. I don't know what that says, but that's a lot of digits. With enough ingredients to make food for everyone, Kotori's basket soon filled up.
人をカートみたいにするな。
As she complained, Kotori was very careful not to let the ingredients of the basket fall out. Don't drop anything.
ちくしょう。ハバネさんは欲しいものない？アイス。
Today's shopping was using the dorm budget, so we couldn't just buy anything we wanted. Having said that, Kotori was helping me out. You can get Bari Bari Kun popsicles.
もっと高級なのがいい。労働と報酬が釣り合わないわ。
Have it your way. I decided to treat her to strawberry Hagen Dutch with my own money. After mentioning earlier, Hagen Dutch is a really expensive ice cream. Okay. Is this one okay?
そうだね。
We had finished at the cash register. It had all cost about 50% more than normal, but tonight was a special occasion. Aw, geez, I forgot to buy ground meat.
そんなの使わないよ。
It's for tomorrow. I don't want to come back every time, you know. I left them there and went back inside the store. I looked over to the meat section, looking for what I needed. I guess I'd better look for the discount stuff. Discount meat? Nope, time out. You do not want to bite meat that's on sale, especially if you're going to be feeding multiple people. The food budget for the dorm was paid on a monthly basis. Even though running the dorm was a kind of hobby for the owner, we still had to keep living expenses under the cost of rent. Our meals had to be as cheap as possible, as tasty as possible. I looked at the packs of beef lined up on the shelf. 29.80 yen per quarter pound. Yikes. This was a high-end supermarket, so some of the but some of those were really expensive. I can't say premium items today. It would be great to be able to get this kind of meat for everyone once in a while. I murmured to myself.
これでいいのかな。
Swipe. A girl reached across from the side and slung the luxury marbled 2,980 yen per quarter pound meat into her basket.
これじゃ足りないかな。ビーフカレーっていうくらいだもんね。
Is this girl new? I don't think we've seen her before. The girl who took the pack showed signs of hesitation, but continued to throw more and more of the expensive meat into her basket. In the end, she took everything that was on the shelf.
これでよしっと。
Are you really going to use that luxury marbled beef in a curry? Not only that, it was thinly sliced.
What?
Ah! I was supposed to have said that on the inside, but because of the shock, I came right out and said it out loud.
えっと。
I mean, if you're making curry, they have meat for curry over here, see?
そんな大きいのカレー食べるときに見ないですよ。
Well, when you stew meat this size, it becomes more tender and much smaller. If she used that thin, expensive meat, all the fat would just melt away to nothing. In her basket was about 2 pounds of thinly sliced marbled meat to be used in sukiyaki. Oh man, okay, 2 pounds, 4 times 3. She was going to spend like $120 on meat. Oh man. Is she really going to stew all of that in some curry? What a waste of good meat.
えっと。
As I stared at her basket, she looked at me in disbelief.
ごめんなさい。
She blurted out an apology and went off to the fish section. Did I scare her off?
シーフードカレーっていうのもあるんだし、お魚も買った方がいいかな。
As I reached for a cheap pack of ground meat, I saw her throw sea bream with the head and tail still on into her basket. Okay, clearly this girl has never visited a supermarket before, so I'm going to give her a pass. Clearly she's just new to this whole shopping thing.
おいしい。ハバネさん、ストロベリー派なんだ。私はクッキー&クリームかな。そう。おいしい？もちろんよ。ねえ。いやよ。まだ何も言ってないんだけど。
Nope, that's all hers. She's not sharing.
一口だけでいいから。
Another well-drawn game. Oh, absolutely. Like, VNs usually have amazing art. VNs usually have really unique art, too, to help them stand out against others, and this one's no exception.
いやーよ、スプーン一つしかないんだから。いいじゃん、女同士なんだから。
Good night, everybody.
やったらやーよ、ケチンボ。わかったわよ、一口だけよ。はーい、ハバネさんありがとう。私のハーゲンダッチが。おち
I want Hagen Dutch now. If everyone in this game is having it, I should have some just to see if it's really as good as they say. Of course, I just had some Dairy Queen earlier, so it's going to be really hard to top that. What are you doing? I'd finished paying and had come back to Kotori feeding Ageha her ice cream. I felt like I'd seen something I wasn't supposed to see.
これは違うのよ。この子がどうしても食べたいって言うから、一口だけ食べさせてあげただけで。
So it is exactly what it looks like? I see. Well, it's nice that you're getting along.
違うったら。ストロベリーもいいな。ねえねえ、もう一口。もう終わり。だって私の分がなくなるもん。
Blushing as she spoke, Kotori continued to wolf down her ice cream. Okay, let's go. Here, take this bag. Wham.
重いだけど、私も手伝うよ。アイスのお礼。
I pushed Kotori's wheelchair as we left the shopping mall. Come on! Where's the Hagen Dutch? Is this real ice cream? Hagen Dutch. Yeah, it's not a real ice cream. Vander Hagen is a Dutch language toponymic surname. Never mind. Okay. Not a real not a real ice cream. Pass that to me. I'll show you how it's done. Her face seemed to say, I get annoyed when people get on their high horse, as she obediently passed me the knife. In a way that Kotori could see easily, I cut the vegetables. Chop, chop, chop. Like this.
こっちのピーマンは？
Wouldn't it be best to cut it in half down the middle?
わかった。やってみる。
So she wants to help cook. Interesting. We had come back to the dormitory and had begun cooking in the dining hall. I got Kotori, who couldn't reach the stove, to cut the vegetables. I was doing the cooking while Ageha was helping out. Hey, this is pretty easy.
でしょ？野菜切って鶏もも肉と一緒に煮込むだけだもんね。
Ageha had been the one to suggest the recipe. Basque-style chicken stew. I couldn't guess what kind of food it would be from just the name, but it was really easy to make. First, you grill the chicken thighs, then fry them with the vegetables, then add the canned tomato with the broth and leave it to stew. It was pretty easy, and didn't need to be so precise. That was the main dish. Next, we would prepare the salad and the soup. Hello, Hattie. Even with Hattie walking gently around her feet, Kotori was focused on what she was doing. She's really concentrating.
案外熱中するタイプだね。
Despite complaining at first, once Kotori got started on something, she became very serious.
均等に切るのは至難の技ね。
Well, it doesn't need to be exact. If there's variety in the thickness, it gives a difference in texture.
不均等に切るのね。わかったわ。
She looked like she was overthinking it a bit too much, then started to cut in an uneven manner. I guess that's what people look like when they get serious. Ageha, how does the soup taste to you?
ちょっと薄いかな。
I'll add salt and pepper. And so the preparations for dinner continued smoothly. Man, I love playing visual novels. Time just flies by so fast.
美味しそう。
We're already halfway through today's stream. Slowly, everyone appeared in the dining hall. I could see from their faces that they could tell something was different. Normally, there was only a roughly set time for dinner. I made all the meals at the same time, but the time that everyone came to eat was usually different. People would come late or sometimes even skipped meals. We didn't usually eat all together. So this was the first time to get everyone together for a meal. Today I had told everyone in advance to come on time. Okay everyone, please take a seat. You too, Ageha.
お邪魔します。なんかすごいね、今日のご飯。ねえ、もう食べていい？お腹ペコペコなんだけど。
Go ahead. Enjoy your meal. Everyone looked at each other as they cautiously moved the food towards their mouths.
おいしい。本当だ、おいしい。
Everyone was talking about how good it was. It's true. This really is tasty. Basque-style chicken stew. I was the one that had made it, but still, I hadn't been sure how it would taste. Crimson Spires was a bit different, you like that? Yeah, well, I think I'm continuing that on Tuesday, as a matter of fact. It was different to the Western or Chinese food that I usually made. This cooking used a lot more spices to bring out the flavor. The meat stewed in the tomato soup was tender and was surprisingly refreshing. Most importantly, the flavor of the meat had really been drawn out, so the taste was just right. It was the kind of thing you would eat on a hot summer's day, even when you didn't have much of an appetite.
こりゃいけるわ。サラダもどうぞ食べてくださいね。
Everyone took their share of salad from the large bowl. There were cucumbers, tomatoes, and lettuce, and also avocado and mozzarella cheese. Oh, that is a salad. Throw in some croutons and a hard-boiled egg, and you got a perfect salad as far as I'm concerned. Even though it was just an elaborate salad, it was well received by everyone.
このサラダも美味しいね。なんか洒落てるし。
Ryoko and Sane both really seemed to like it.
アゲハちゃんプロデュースだよ。
Everyone looked like they finally understood. The truth is that today's meal was made under the advice of Miss Higemi here.
それでアゲハが来てたんだ。自分が食べたい料理を作ってもらっただけなんだけどね。
It seems that Ageha and Ryoko were friends from before.
クイックセーブしたわ。
Okay, right trigger is quick save, thank you. The thing is, it seems the food that I made didn't really go down well with everyone. Apart from Kaneko, everyone looked away awkwardly.
美味しくないわけじゃないのよ。そうそう。でも量が多いっていうか。
That's why, if there's something you want to say, please talk to me about it, okay? It was a little scary, but I thought it would be best to get their honest opinions.
なんていうか、一色なのよ。あ、わかる。すっごいわかります、ゆかさん。けど、今日の料理はカラフル。
I guess color is the same word in English and Japanese. I guess they were right. This meal had red, green, yellow, white, and many other colors. The food I usually made was ginger pork, brown, fried rice, brown. I know what I'm making for dinner. Curry, yellow, yakisoba, brown, Neapolitan pasta, red. Basically, each dish dish was comprised of a single color.
葵
I
君
don't-
の料理も豪快で嫌いじゃ
I
ない
don't
け
know
ど
why
ね
I'm having such a hard time speaking today. I apologize. I'll try and do better. Okay. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can do better.
美味しくないわけじゃないのよ。でもほら最近暑くて食欲もそんなにないし、途中で飽きちゃう。
Everyone was doing their best to be kind. They really cared about my feelings. So that's what they were worried about. For a guy like me, who went to a sports-focused boys' school, lived together with his dad in a kind of bachelor pad, food was food. I hadn't even thought about the color. I guess that was something that people really cared about.
でもこれ本当に美味しいよ。おかわりしたいくらい。
Everyone seemed satisfied. It felt like this was the most open everyone had been with me. If I'm going to say it, now's my chance. Where's Kotori? Has she just been sitting there eating quietly this whole time? If I'm going to say it, now's my chance. Can I just say something? I stood up and got everyone's attention. Please listen as you eat. This is about everybody's chores. Would it be alright to increase them a little? Yeah, well, Leandro, translating on the fly is a lot harder. I know that full well, especially if it's a non-Germanic language. So, yeah. You have it way harder than I do. I have no excuse. I'm a student too, so it's pretty tough for me. For example, if I could just get one of you guys to clean the bathroom, that would really be a big help. Everyone looked at each other as if they were trying to figure out what the others were thinking. It was natural that nobody would want to increase their chores. But
わかった。
Yuka, the oldest, responded, and the others nodded in agreement.
水瀬くんが大変なの見ていてわかってるから。実はちょっと気になってました。屋根の雨漏りも直してくれたしね。
In return, I will try harder than ever to make good food for you.
こんな美味しいご飯毎日食べられるんだ。
Heaven.
いいなあ、涼子。私もここに住もうかな。
Oh yeah, have Agea move in with Aoi so she can help cook. Great idea. I see nothing wrong with this idea.
それだけでいいの？
That and one other thing. This is what I really wanted to say. I think that we should get Kotori to do some things too. Oh, so she is there. I wondered. Kotori, who was sitting at the end of the table, the furthest away from everyone, was surprised to hear her name. Everybody turned to look at her.
でも、ハバネさんは
She can't use her legs, but she can use her hands. There are things that she can do.
今日の料理だって手伝ってくれたんだよね。あなたたちが無理やり付き合わせただけよ。
Seeing how successful today's meal was, knowing that Kotori had helped made a big impact. They looked at her like they were impressed, but Kotori seemed kind of embarrassed. Thanks to Kotori helping us, we were able to get the dinner preparations done easily. If that's the case, then maybe we can increase the amount of chores. I didn't dislike cooking, but having to prepare food for several people was physically quite demanding. If it's okay with you, Kotori, could you help me prepare the meals?
別にいいけど、そのくらいなら。
Thank you. Kotori looked away and quietly nodded without saying anything. She may not be able to do the same chores as everyone else, but from now on, I want Kotori to help out where she can. Everyone still had their reservations about the whole thing, so for now, they just quietly looked at each other. Even so, until now, Kotori and the other residents had quite a distant relationship. Perhaps out of anyone, I felt like I could understand the situation the most.
賛成
Once Kaneko agreed with me, the others followed.
それができるんならすごくいいと思うわ。私もそう思いますゆかさん。私前からちょっと変だなって思ってました。
So, from tomorrow, let's do our best.
こちらこそよろしく寮母さん。小鳥ちゃんもよろしくね。
I could tell that Kotori was holding back from shouting abuse at me, but she managed to hold it together. Thanks for today, Ageha. You really helped me out.
いいって。葵が困ってるとき、私が助ける。普通なことでしょ。
Same goes for you, too. Hattie came waddling down the corridor.
おお、アヒルさん、どうしたの？見送りに来てくれたの？わが。
Hattie flapped his wings towards Ageha. Maybe he's saying thanks for helping Kotori. He is her roommate after all.
じゃあ、部屋に戻ったら伝えて。わー。
The way he replied made it seem like he completely understood what Ageha had said. He wiggled his tail as he waddled off.
かわいい。
Okay, take care on your way home.
またね。
Oh, that's a transition.
ハット、どこ行ってたの？はい、おやつのキュウリ。くわー。ねえ、聞いてハット。今日ね、私ご飯作るの手伝ったのよ。鶏肉のなんとか煮込みって言うんだけど、みんな美味しいって言ってた。
She seems so happy.
私も食べたけど、本当に美味しかったの。
Ah, she's so happy.
すごいでしょ。
Hattie is a duck. Kotori is happy, Hattie is a duck. Sums up their emotions perfectly.
もうすぐ今日が終わっちゃう。
Aw.
楽しかったな。
Find it interesting that there, the focus was on her without Aoi in the room. I wonder if that's going to be a trend as the visual novel goes forward. Good question. I pushed down on the heavy pedals, and the gears creaked. I was worried that the chain would snap and fly off, since it was stretched to its limits. But there was no time to think about that during a hill climb. Damn it! I can't do this anymore! This is just way too much for me. I wasn't proud of it, but I decided to not put myself through any further pointless hardship. Putting in lots of effort isn't exactly fun in and of itself, but the reward that awaited me made me want to really go for it. I was getting closer and closer. Gah! Finally! The top of the slope! As I get to the top of the slope, the view all of a sudden opened up. Below me was the town spreading far into the distance, and the steep downward hill. Finally, the time had come for my reward. I lowered myself, kicked down on the pedal, and accelerated in a flash. I cut through the headwind that would have held me back on flat ground like a bullet. On downhill slopes, speeds can reach close to 50 miles per hour. If that were a car driving through the city, it would breeze past as it overtook other cars. Falling off my bike now would result in serious injury. No joke, I could even die. After all, when we race, we are almost completely exposed. The road was winding and still not flat. At high speeds, when I entrusted my body to the inertia, the wheels bounced on the uneven road. Strangely enough, I never felt any fear. I only felt overwhelming exhilaration. Nevertheless, I needed to stay focused. It wasn't like I hadn't predicted that there might be unforeseen circumstances. Even so. When I came to, I thought I was in a hospital bed. But despite how the ceiling looked, I soon realized that I wasn't in a hospital. I'm in my room, huh? I still didn't really feel like this was my room, though. I lay on my side in my bed and tried to recall what had happened in my dream. I forgot most of it from the shock of waking up, but I had an idea of what kind of dream it was. I pulled the alarm clock towards myself. It was 11:42. Noon already. Even though it was Sunday, I'd overslept. I didn't have to prepare breakfast on Sundays. Plus, I'd already fixed a couple leaks and finished up some other small errands the day before. It was Sunday, and I had nothing to do. I got out of bed and looked down at my knee. There was the scar from the surgery. It's been a while since I last had that dream. Because of how busy I'd been, and with the change of scenery, I'd gone quite a while without such intrusive thoughts. Things had only calmed down a little, but I had let my guard down emotionally. Somehow, I felt strangely sluggish and didn't feel like getting out of bed. Just then, someone knocked on the door.
Aoi-kun, 起きてますか?
It was Sane. She was quite a cheerful person, but I always felt like she kept her distance from me. Despite that,
Aoi-kun, 起きて! Oi! Aoi-kun!
I'm awake. I answered, then got out of bed and shuffled over to the door. What is it?
あのね、Aoi-kun にお客さん.
Although I thought it was strange for Sane to sound so excited, I quickly got changed and left my room. I looked outside the entrance to see...
Yo, Aoi.
Tatsuya! Huh, so the visitor she was talking about turned out to be Tatsuya. The other residents poked their heads out from behind the wall of the hallway, looking at Tatsuya from a distance. It was just like him to be completely unfazed by this weird spectacle.
これ、寮の皆さんと食べてくれ。
He handed me a welcoming present. What's this? A raindrop cake?
ご近所さんからもらったお土産なんだが、うちじゃ食い切れなくてな。
Oh, is this what I think it is? Tatsuya had always been popular with the ladies. Much older ladies, especially. He'd often receive presents from them. Just by walking around the town for a day, he'd likely be given no shortage of things to eat. I took the souvenir from Tatsuya and passed it to Yuka and the others, who were still half hidden behind the wall of the hallway. Here, we should eat this together.
ねえ、あの人誰? 水瀬君とどういう関係?
He's my childhood friend, Tatsuya.
幼なじみなんだ。へえ。
The others started echoing the same sentiments. Tatsuya, come on in. I'll pour you a cup of tea or something.
でもここ、女子寮だろ?
Oh yeah, you're right. Since I was staying here, that fact didn't cross my mind often.
来いよ。昼飯おごってやる。
Man, I need to pick up the cover of Time.
どうだこっちは。
Yeah, it's nice. It feels relaxing.
無理すんな。この景色見て故郷に帰ってきた気分にはならないだろ。
I guess you're right. New construction work had been completed in the area. The town looked different. Many brand new buildings had popped up and the roads got neatly paved. There wasn't a trace of Kazugara that I once knew. But I remember this street. I mean, I used to come down here almost every day. If you go this way, it'd lead to the Kazami Shopping Arcade. It's a small shopping arcade and the area where me, Agea, and the others were born and raised. My family had a small real estate agency set up on one side of the street. Agea's family had been a sporting goods store, and Masatsugu's had a ramen restaurant. Then there was Tatsuyu's family, which had a small factory nearby. My childhood friends and I were all kids of the Kazami Shopping Arcade, and we all played together. Unfortunately, the shopping arcade disappeared due to their recent renewal.
ウィンディにはもう行ったのか？
I've been to the underground shopping arcade a few times. I went to buy groceries. That was where I went yesterday with Ageha and Kotori.
まだ上の方は見てないのか？
That's right. I was busy, so I hadn't been there.
せっかくだ。飯のついでに見ていくといい。
Whoa!
なかなかすごいだろ。
Yeah. Wendy's was the large shopping mall built on the side of the small shopping arcade where we grew up. I'd been here many times before, but I'd always used the underground entrance, so I'd never seen how big it was. I thought it would be a big building, but I can't believe that the Kazami shopping arcade used to be here.
国内でも有数の商業施設だそうだ。今や風車の丘と並んで風ヶ浦の新名所だぞ。
I didn't feel at all like I'd come back to my hometown. On the contrary, I felt like I was lost in some foreign country. What happened to everyone from the shopping arcade?
希望した人はこの中に店を構えてる。よそに行った人たちもいたけど、みんな元気にやってるよ。
Agea... hang on. Yanni, you try and say Agea is hard. Okay. Agea said she had moved.
アゲハンチなら。
あ、あんちゃん。
Oh, look who it
い
is.
たいた。
Agea appeared with uncanny timing.
人、二人で遊んでるんだ。私も声かけてよね。
だってお前、店の手伝いがあるんだろ？
今終わったとこ。
Agea replied, standing in front of Higemi Sports. That's what it said on the sign. Oh yeah, you said you'd moved house, but you also said the shop was now in Wendy's, right? Higemi Sports. This was a sporting goods store managed by Agea's father. From what I could remember, it used to be a small town sporting goods store, but now it was a more trending sports store aimed at young people. They must have changed things up after seeing the kind of clientele they'd be getting in the new shopping center.
へへん。立派になったでしょ。
I didn't know that your dad had an eye for what young people like. I answered while slightly dazed.
あ、そうだ。おーい、ホタル。
When Agea called out, a girl even more petite than her came out of the store.
なに、あーちゃん。あんちゃんと葵が来てるよ。
Hotaru opened her eyes wide for a moment and then looked up at me. Her expression seemed to say, "Is this big guy standing here really Aoi?" It was time to prove it was really me. Long time no see, Hotaru. I rubbed Hotaru's head in the same way that Tatsuya did to me.
お兄やめて。
Hotaru wiggled her head around, seemingly at her wit's end as I rubbed it. She was Agea's younger sister. She was only 1 year younger, so we used to play together a lot as kids. Her personality was the complete opposite of her sister, shy and quiet. Haha, you've gotten bigger too. Rub.
お兄、目が回るよ。こーら、うちの妹をいじめるんじゃない。
Only 1 year younger, huh? I'm totally not, right, Hotaru?
ほっぺつねらないで。
I let go and Hotaru continued moving her head around and around.
たくも5年ぶりのくせにいきなりすぎるっての。ホタル、大丈夫？平気。ちょっと目が回っただけ。本当にお兄だ。
Hotaru, I'm back. Want me to rub your head again? I started to move my hands toward her like I was going to do it again. Hotaru jumped back and hid behind Ageha.
いじめるな。
Bam! I got punched right in the ribs. Ah! I just wanted to play with Hotaru a little, that's all. For some reason, Ageha was very protective of Hotaru. I thought I'd come and see you sometime, Hotaru.
そっか。同じ学校なんだから顔見せに連れてけばよかったかな。
Hotaru goes there too? That was a surprise. I had the idea in my head that Hotaru would definitely go to a regular school.
みんなあんちゃんの影響を受けまくりだからね。
俺はやめとけって言ったんだがな。
Tatsuya had graduated from Kaifu Academy. Ageha and the others all took the entrance exams like it was a matter of course, just because it was the school he went to. I had done the same. I knew it was a special school and kept it at the top of the list when I was choosing which school to transfer to. Yeah, I guess that was all thanks to Tatsuya too.
ところで2人で何してたの？
当たり。
やっぱり。
Hey, Tatsuya!
似たようなもんだろ。葵に昼飯おごってやろうと思ってな。お前らも来るか？
行く。
となるとあいつも呼んでやらないと後で拗ねるな。
ああ、ダメダメ。麻婆なら今日は忙しいって。
なんだ、用事があるのか？
正真正銘のデート。昨日すっごい自慢された。
How unfortunate.
でも可愛いんだよ、マー君の彼女。
なら邪魔するわけにはいかないな。俺たちだけで行くか。
やったー、あんちゃんとご飯みんなでご飯するの久しぶりだね。
どこ行く？どこでもいいぞ。
Tatsuya motioned for me to take the lead. You're asking me where we should go, but I still really don't know this place. There were so many shops and everywhere was unfamiliar to me.
そんなの決まってるじゃない。私らが集まったら行く店は一つ。
Hotaru nodded as Ageha spoke. It eventually came to me.
太陽圏。
Masa's dad doesn't hold back with these portions. It felt like the ramen I had was going to come back up. I just barely kept it down by rubbing my hand along my belly.
調子に乗って特盛り頼むからよ。私は大盛りにしといて大正解。それでも十分多いよ、あーちゃん。
いつもより多かったぞ。 葵のためにサービスしてくれたんだろう。
Oh, even better. Even though Tatsuya also ordered the deluxe bowl, he seemed unfazed.
おっちゃん、青兄に会えて嬉しそうだった。お代もサービスしてくれたしね。
But I can't believe that Taioken is still around. Taioken was a Chinese restaurant on one side of the Kazami shopping arcade. It was also Matsutsugu's house. They used to serve regular set menus, but since moving, changed direction. It had become akin to new wave ramen restaurants in the city.
繁盛してるんだから。こないだ雑誌に載って若いお客が増えたっておっちゃん大喜び。おっちゃんの写真も載ったんだよ。すごくかっこよかった。頭にタオル巻いて腕組みしてドヤ顔で決めてたあれね。
Matsutsugu was like his father. In other words, like his father, he got carried away easily and tended to show off. Whenever there were sports events or karaoke competitions in town, regardless of the result, he'd always be the center of attention. The flavors changed so much, and apart from seeing Masa's dad, it wasn't nostalgic at all. Before, it was plain old soy sauce ramen, but now it had become a pork and fish double soup variety.
ここと同じ。みんな変わっていくもんさ。
そうそう。5年も経っちゃうとね。
Yeah, you're right. Well, now that he'd said 5 years, I guess it really was a long time that had passed. But some things hadn't changed. Masatsugu's dad was the same as always. The same goes for Agea and Hotaru, and Tatsuya too. The things that I most wanted to stay the same were still there.
ちょっと待ってろ。飲み物買ってくるから。
Tatsuya made us wait at a bench while he went to buy some juice. Hotaru went after him. Agea and I sat down on the bench.
ねえ葵、
What's up?
そろそろ部活決めた？
I replied vaguely. There is one that I think would be okay.
どこどこ？
Well, it's still just a thought.
ケチケチせずに教えなさいよ。
I don't even know if it's a proper club or not.
何それ？
You're in the robotics club, right?
そう、うちの学校で一番人気。
You enter contests, right? Do they fight? Whenever I thought of robots, I'd imagine them firing missiles and flying through the air.
まあそうなんだけど、多分葵が考えてるのとは違うよ。障害物競争したり、物を運んだり積み上げたり。
What the heck?
ロボットの技術を競う戦いだからね。毎年テーマが決まってて、それに合わせて作るんだよ。
Oh,
興味出た？
I don't know. You say you build robots, but I still don't get it.
まあそうだよね。ここんとこ毎年初戦敗退で、みんなそれが当然みたいな顔してるし、葵が入ってこうビシッと引き締めてくれたらありがたいんだけど。
Why don't you do it yourself?
いや私そういうキャラじゃないから。
Agea liked to do things at her own pace.
昔はもっと熱心だったらしいんだけどね。一度全国大会で準優勝したこともあるんだよ。
Wow, that's impressive.
その時のロボットを作ったのが、ほらこないだ見かけた人覚えてる？超留年生の望月天音さん。
Yeah, I remember her.
うん。それはやっぱ美人さんだから？
Yes. That's not why. Yes, it is. I mean, that could be one reason. There you are. Agea's face contorted into a confused expression.
天音先輩がまだ1年の時にほとんど自分一人で作ったロボットでいきなり準優勝しちゃった。決勝戦で負けたんだけど、コントローラーのボタンを押し間違えるというボンミスが敗因だったらしいよ。
There were no what ifs in matches like that, and unfortunately, a national championship win slipped through her fingers. She was in her first year?
そう別格なのよあの人は。どうしたのあんちゃん。
Before we had realized, Tatsuya and Hotaru had come back, but were standing a little further away while watching us.
サイダーとオレンジどっちにする？
I'll have an orange juice. I took the can of juice and opened it.
いただきます。
Tatsuya watched us quietly as we drank. What is it?
いやなんか昔に戻ったみたいだなって。お前たち二人が揃ってるとさ。
Agaya and I looked at each other while drinking our juice. Then, embarrassed, we both laughed.
一人足りないけどこういう時にいないのが麻婆らしいわね。
Yeah, he's always been like that.
みんなでやったいたずらがバレても一人だけ逃げたりね。でもあの後謝りながら泣いてたし。
How noble.
ほんと手のかかるやつだったわよね。
Agaya sighed as she said that, and Hotaru and I laughed.
そんな麻婆にも今や彼女ができた。お前たちも頑張らないとな。
In response to Tatsuya's teasing, the rest of us blushed.
私はいいの。葵は知らないけど。そうなの？
I just got back here, you know?
女子寮の寮母さんやってそこのとびっきり可愛い子ともう仲良くなっちゃってるくせに。
Hey, don't say it like that!
ああ、あの子か。確かに可愛い子だったな。
Not you too, Tatsuya! Hotaru looked at me with suspicion. Hotaru, it's not really like that. I'm just working as the house mother.
青兄ならかっこいいからすぐ彼女できちゃうよ。
I said it's not like that! Ah, jeez, I'm thirsty. I gulped down the rest of the juice. Agaya grinned as she looked at me, while Hotaru seemed worried.
それじゃ俺はそろそろ行くよ。
もう帰っちゃうの？
悪いな。夕方から急ぎの仕事があるんだ。
Thanks for inviting me out today.
いいって。俺も楽しかったから。おっとそうだ。忘れるところだった。
Tatsuya came back over and took out some small parts from his pocket.
ほら、頼まれてたやつ。
He handed me the parts that Amane had requested.
そんなものを何に使うんだ？
They're parts for a glider.
グライダー？
It's a kind of measuring instrument. One of the older kids at school asked me to get it. Ageha suddenly exclaimed.
それ天音先輩のことでしょ？だってグライダーって言ったらあの人しかいないもん。
Yes, that's right.
どういうこと？いつの間に知り合いになったの？
Kind of. I tried dodging the question as it would take a while to explain. And that explanation would contain information I didn't exactly want to divulge.
ねえあーちゃん、その人そう、あの美人の。
Once again, I received a dubious stare from the Himeki sisters. Okay, they definitely look like sisters in this picture. You know, that's worth saving. To my Switch.
いいホタル。葵はね、この町を離れてる間にちょっとエッチになっちゃったのよ。そうなの？そうなの。残念ながらね。
Hey, don't fill her head with nonsense.
お前ら見てるとほんと和むよ。
Don't just stand there laughing. Back me up, man.
何？ 悪いことじゃないさ。何かに打ち込んだり、誰かを好きになったり。
Tatsuya gave me a squeeze as he put his arm around my shoulder.
早く新しいこと見つかるといいな、葵。
He whispered into my ear, then let go of me.
じゃあな。公共の場であんまり騒ぐなよ。
With that, Tatsuya waved goodbye and headed home. After he was gone, we went to Himegi Sports to say hello to Agea's father. They gave me tea and cake, and I stayed for a while. Soon enough, it became evening. As I walked along the street heading back to the dorm, I still felt like I didn't want to go back just yet. Maybe I should go for a little stroll. It's changed a lot around here, too. There used to be an embankment near where I stood. We used to play here a lot, catching koi and crucian carp, okay, but now it had a promenade and had been made into a walking course. Well, this was just right for taking a stroll. I walked slowly while gazing at the lake that was dyed by the setting sun. My hometown had changed a lot in 5 years, but the important things hadn't changed at all. I hope you find something new. Find something new, huh? As I mumbled quietly to myself, I looked at the view over on the other side of the bank. The blades of the turbines positioned on the gentle slope turned slowly. Oh well. Man, that ramen is really tasty. Next time I'll try the dipping noodles.
つけ麺
Huh? Hello. I spotted someone standing a little further away. It looked like girl. It looked like girl. She ran her hand along the fence and, like me, was gazing at Windmill Hill on the other side of the bank. Someone was there? I'd been talking to myself since I thought no one else was around, but it seemed like she actually heard me. Huh? You're that...
お
Something about her was a little different, but she was definitely the girl from the supermarket yesterday. The girl who bought all that super expensive meat just to make curry, $125 worth of meat. Did your curry come out nice?
どうして知ってるの
Don't you remember? Yesterday, in the supermarket.
ああそれは多分私じゃないわね
Huh? I mean, it's clear this is girl B. The one in the supermarket was girl A, so they're twins, but, you know, Aoi doesn't know that.
姉さんってばぼーっとしてるからまたナンパでもされちゃったのかしら
Older sister?
すき焼きとお刺身だったわ
Huh?
昨日の夕食
Oh, I see. She was talking about what had been purchased at the supermarket. That would make more sense. There's no way anyone would make regular old curry with ingredients like that. It seems she only started to see sense right at the last minute.
じゃ私はもう行くから
Hi, Quasar. Oh, alright. The way she quickly turned to leave made me feel like I was inconveniencing her by talking. It was a completely different feeling compared to when I met that girl in the supermarket. I thought it was strange to see such a complete transformation in a girl whose name I didn't even know. Anyhow, I headed home. I think this is a good stopping point.
前のデータが消えちゃい
Guess
ま
we'll
すけ
find
ど
more about
いい
those
ですか
girls later. There's a whole lot of characters that we're still meeting 3 hours into this game. 5 hours into this game. So, that is where I'll call it today. Looks like I will be continuing my playthrough of Crimson Spires on Tuesday, followed by Rogue Explorer on Friday, and of course next Sunday I will be continuing my playthrough of If My Heart Had Wings. So, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I'll be back, well, next Sunday with this game, Tuesday with a different game. Until then, on behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!